母親に似て心の優しい君なのに。だが今日で最後だ。もう。
チャンネル登録していい。
Card Kaizoku.
In this video, we're going to switch things up and take a look at OP14. Nothing has really been changing much in OP13, so I thought, yeah, this would be a good time to look back at OP14 over the last week, because it has been quite a while now since the set has been released on the sim. So interested to see how some of these decks have developed now that there's been tournaments in Asia that have happened. And yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some of the leaders, their deck performance, win rates and stuff. We're going to take a look at their matchups and then look at some sample deck lists of where they're at in the current meta. And if that is something you're interested in, stay tight. But first, a word from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by frickin' me. Check out my merch shop. I have a t-shirt here, the Cut That Part Out t-shirt. In case you guys wanted some inside jokes on a t-shirt, I have merch now at shop.cardykaizoku.com. Thank you. This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code CardKaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. See the most up-to-date Eastern and Western deck lists on gumgum.gg, updated daily. Be the first to see deck lists for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, so here is the leader rankings on the East on the sim for the last week. Again, if we take a look at like private, I don't think people are playing ranked on the East, so you're gonna see like some funky things here, like Imu is still a top deck even though he doesn't show up at all in Japanese tournaments. But then if we take a look at the overall stats too, I think like Nami and Bonnie are also like highly overperforming, even though we don't really see it in terms of what we've seen in the Japanese championship series. It could just be that they haven't figured out that Yellow Bonnie is actually broken. But I'm gonna have to assume once we're all on the like simultaneous release and then ranked and the sim updates at the same time in a timely manner before the set releases, I think once we have like that private game data set where people are tryharding, it's going to be a very interesting time. But for now, we can just use this just to take a look at what people are building. So the leaders that stand out would be this red-black Sabo, right? He went up 6 spots. Let's see what's different with that. Crocodile went up 2, so let's take a look at why that is. Imu again, let's take a look at why Imu is performing well this week. Jinbei and Mihawk have dropped, so it looks like the new leader hype has been dying down for them. Right, I think they are decent decks, but I do think they may not be top tier decks. Or it could just be that people on the sim haven't figured out how to play Jinbei and Mihawk too well. Purple Doflamingo down here too. Yeah, a lot of people hype this deck up. I'm still not sold. I'm not 100% convinced. I'm gonna need someone to like top a tournament with it. I mean, actually like win it, and then then maybe I'll see the light. But from my own testing of it and what I've been seeing on like stream of this deck, it's a good deck, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the top 4 meta deck that everyone's like claiming it's gonna be. We see Law. Let's take a look at what Law is cooking up during this time, and Robin too. Take a look at Sanji too. Sanji got some pretty new tools from EB03 and OP14, I believe. Or maybe I'm confusing it with EB04, but we'll take a look at the deck list to make sure. The Blackbeard and then Purple Black Luffy. Who else? Did Pillow Betty get anything new? Probably not. Let's take a look at Koala. We haven't seen Koala in a while. Alright, so that'll be our leader set to look at for this week. And this is all my website, cardykaizoku.com. So if I didn't go over a leader that you're interested in, you could just check it out yourself. So let's jump right into the first one. Red Black Sabo. For the past week of all Eastern games on the sim, 13,000 games played, so not too shabby there, right? 2% of the play rate, 51.8. Did I say that weird? Win rate going first, 61.3 going second, giving him a raw win rate of 57.57. Hey, it's repeating. Okay, so it looks like this is the leader matchup breakdown below. So you're actually favored into Boa. Makes sense because you're a 6k base with a bunch of blockers. Doesn't matter if you can take life, you can probably defend yourself really well. Good into Doflamingo, good into Mihawk, good into Crocodile and Jinbei. And Ace, yeah, I think this has been true even right now in OP13. It's just that you have a horrible matchup with the Green Zoro. But yeah, I can see the case where if Green Zoro is falling out of the meta, if Imu is falling out of the meta, Sabo only gains, right? Because he's already good into Ace, and Ace seems to still be a top meta deck. Good into Blue Purple Luffy, which won one of the championship series in Japan. And then good into Nami, dies to Vivi, completely dies to Vivi. Yeah, because that makes sense. Sabo's shtick is that he can give his characters plus cost to make it harder to KO, but Vivi KO is based on power, so that kind of circumvents his mitigation there. Into Imu, you completely die going first, but you are pretty favorite going second. I think that's every deck into Imu. So let's open up the deck list view. These deck lists are chosen based on a mix of their number of games played versus their play rate versus the number of people playing it, and also like their per deck list matchup performance. So if you're playing a wider variety of opponents with the deck list, it scores it a lot higher. So this one is the number one chosen deck list here. 414 games, 51.9% win rate, played by 98 different people. And yeah, it's good into these decks below. You can take a gander. Here, I'll scroll to the end. You guys want to see even like the decks that they played only against once. So let's open it up in the deck builder, which is also something I coded on my website, kaizoku.com. Alright, so this Sabo deck has some cards that we don't have access to yet, right? Namely this Koala. The tricky thing is that we're not going to get EB03 until after OP14 and EB04. So if the Sabo mains are hoping to get a win sometime soon, they might have to hold off until EB03. This Koala does fill up some holes, right? You have both Koala and Hack as an option on your 3-down slot. Koala, if she ever dies, it replaces herself with this really strong 6-cost 7k Sabo, 8k technically with your leader ability, but if you're a Sabo player, you know why this card is good to have out, and if you can cheat it out before your 6-down turn, it's all the better. There's also this new Sabo promo that we still don't know how we're gonna get. I'm hoping it's gonna be easily available because it's also a very nice card for the deck. I think people are calling this Mick Sabo because it's supposed to be in that McDonald's promo. So yeah, I like that nickname. That's kind of funny actually. But yeah, it's also another 4-drop for the deck. It's also a blocker and also an 8-cost on board for you. Also gives down to your leader too. Right, it's everything that you need for a Sabo deck. It looks like they're cutting down some of the searchers in OP14. I only see 9 here. Right, I think at the moment people run like a full 12 plus the stage, but it looks like you're gonna need some room for these Koalas and mixed Sabos and stuff. In terms of their top end, running Force to see. This is great into Ace. This is why you're the Ace killer. I think it's a little heavy-handed though, 4-of copy of this, because I'm more partial to running like the Rush Dragons, but that might just be because I hate Imu more than I hate Ace. But also Roger, a good card for that Imu matchup and Ace matchup too, for that matter. And then in terms of counter events, you have 2 of the hair removal fists that counter for 4k, and then they're also running that Crocodile one. Yeah, it seems like a lot of black decks are running this. I have no idea why they made this generic. It's so easy to meet 10 cards in trash for a lot of black decks. Maybe they just wanted to give each black deck a 4k counter, but Imu got 8 in that case. But yeah, this is the Sabo deck here. Oh, in case you guys want to know the price of the deck, I have that too. So if you click this show prices button here, boom, it picks the cheapest version of each card. You can even cycle through the art. So in case you want like a better secret Sabo here, you can get the what was this? Alt art? It's not the manga rare, right? It's just alt art. This is the manga rare, and then there's a red manga rare. Okay, I have the image for this one. 14! What? Oh, for 4 of them, but still, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, we're not that rich, so we'll just keep it on the base art. And of course, we're not going to have the prices of cards that aren't released yet. Right, this Koala doesn't have a price. But if you guys wanted to buy this deck, the shopping cart links that show up will take you to the version of the art that you selected. Or if you're super lazy, there's a master entry button here in green. You click that, it adds the entire deck list to your cart of the art that you selected for the available cards. So don't worry if some of these don't have prices yet. It'll just pick whatever is available. And then once you're on TCG Player, you just Control V, add the entire deck to your cart, one click. So easy, so convenient. And both of these methods go through my affiliate link. So if you guys wanted to support me and you guys were going to buy these cards anyway, this would be a very win-win situation here, right? You get what you need and you also help me out. And if these tools have helped you out, I would be really appreciated if you did it that way. Okay, moving on to the next leader, we have Crocodile. So 32,000 games, 5% play rate, 50% win rate going first, 53 going second. Hey, not too shabby. So raw win rate of 51.91. What are you good against? So you're not good into Boa. She's too aggro for you, but you're good into Doflamingo. He's slow enough for you. Good into Mihawk going first. In the mirror, you want to go first. No, it's almost even. I would say that like a 4% variance isn't anything to write home about. It doesn't come down to the coin flip. There's some agency there, I would say, but slightly favored going first. Into Jinbei, you lose, but you have a chance going second. Into Ace, you completely die to him, like completely, 27% overall. Blue, Purple, Luffy, and Nami too give you a rough time. Imu completely kills you too. But if Imu is out of the meta, yeah, you have a nicer time with Crocodile here. You beat Moria, and then you die to Yellow Bonnie. So let's open up the deck list view. Let's see if these deck lists have changed since the last time we looked at it. So this one, 607 games played, 60.5% win rate by 65 pilots. Matchup spread below. And then let's open it up. So I Don't see anything too crazy. Oh wait, no, wait, I spoke too soon. They're running a Hoti Couture patchwork to get -3 cost of stuff for 1 Dawn. What could this be for? Oh, because then one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 0 will not become active on their next refresh phase. It's a 1 Dawn stun a card. Actually, that's insane for Crocodile. Whoa. I didn't even consider this. That's really good, right? Because what your leader ability does is you get -10 cost of something. Like literally everything in the game can become a 0 cost, and then for 1 Dawn, you stun it. 1 Dawn stun. That's, oh my god. This is why I love the sim stats. Like, because of this aggregation, like we're able to see cool stuff like this develop without having to like seek out what some pro players posting randomly somewhere on Twitter. But other than that, yeah, everything else is the same though, right? We have the 4K counter, we have the search event. Mr. 5 is the 5 cost of choice. Oh no, they're running 2-2 of the Mr. 4. I was like, are they only running one of them? They're running both. I guess they cut 2-2 on both sides to make room for the Hoti Couture. But Mr. 1 is your best 5-drop. Miss Doublefinger is also probably second best, I would say. And then the rest of the deck is just how the deck functions, right? You need the Miss All Sunday to play out the Mr. 2 into Miss Wednesday, and then pop Miss Wednesday to get -3k to something, and then pop the Mr. 2 to play out Mr. 1 to rest something and attack into it, right? That's like the general mid-range clear the board combo to keep yourself healthy, to play the Crocodile that stuns a character. He stuns 2 things, because on play you stun something and then you can KO it and replay him out to stun a second thing, and then conveniently you have Hoti Couture to stun a 3rd thing, right? Is that how it works? Yeah, because right, this one stuns on play no matter what the cost of the opponent's character is, if it's 9 or less. So I guess you care a little bit. Yeah, you can stun 3 things with the Hoti Couture plus this Crocodile. That's insane. Insano control. Cool. And then I'm guessing the only cards in this deck that would have a price is the Hoti Couture, because it's OP05. Yeah, 68 cents. That's the only new old card that you can prepare ahead of time. So yeah, I'm glad we looked at Crocodile again. I'm interested to try with the Hoti Couture now myself. I don't think I've uploaded a video of him yet, so this would be the perfect time to try him out. Okay, we have Imu. Damn, we're looking only at black decks. We have Sabo, Crocodile, Imu. So 19,000 games still, 30% of the play rate here of the share, 42.8 going first, 60.8 going second. Very coin flippy deck, right? You want to go second if you want to dominate. It looks like that is reflected in all the win rates too. Going second, you have a positive win rate into anything. But going first, that's where it kind of changes, right? Into Boa, you die. Boa is just way too aggressive, I guess. I'm pretty sure there's a way to starve Boa, but maybe like Emus just need to learn what every other deck does to play against it. Into Dofi, you do lose some going first, but overall you beat him. Mihawk beats you, that makes sense. Like Mihawk's entire deck is just anti-Emu, right? It stops you from blocking, it stops you resting. He also has counter events of his own to stay pretty healthy. You beat Croc, you beat Jinbei going second, only if you go first, that's really low. And to Ace, you still lose to Ace in general. I guess it's because Green Zoro fell out of favor that Imu isn't as like super oppressive? Is that the reason why Imu is oppressive? How's he doing to Sabo? I'm curious. Oh, you lose to Sabo. But yeah, you beat Zoro here. You completely destroy Vivi. I didn't know that. I wonder why that is. I haven't tried out Vivi either, just because like U03 is coming out so late that I'm like, well, why play a leader that's not going to come out for like, I think like 4 months? You also beat Blue Purple Luffy here. You also beat Bonnie by a large margin. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, let's open up the deck list. Let's see if there's anything new. I'm pretty sure it's just running the new event here. So this one, 3,376 games by 365 people, giving us a 59% win rate. Matchup spread below. Open it up. And yeah, it's same old Imu stuff, except it's also running the Crocodile 4K counter. What did they cut out for this though? Only running 10 2Ks, so maybe they cut out 2 2Ks, then what else? I guess people used to run 3 of this, so one of this turned into the ground death, and then one more card. What could it be? I have no idea, because kind of everything else is normally run in Imu. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, they made room for this ground death somehow. So in fact, you can even buy this deck out right now, right? All the cards are available except for the ground death, and it's a $24.93 deck. Insanely cheap. So yeah, people who have bought a few booster boxes of OP13 probably built out the deck by accident in full. That's Imu. Nothing too different, just another 4K counter option on top of never existed in the first place, right? You have 8 4K counters for 1 Dawn. So move on to Red Law. 13,000 games played, 2.12% play rate, 50 going first, 47 going second, overall 49.32. You died a Boa, you beat Doflamingo, you died a Mihawk, you died a Croc, died a Jinbei, died a Ace. You beat Blue Purple Luffy, died a Nami though, and died a Vivi. And yeah, that's not not too good of a matchup spread here. You died to a lot of things. And I think right now, like, Boa is top dog, right? I think Boa, Ace, and Blue Purple Luffy. So having 2 bad matchups into that is kind of bad. But there's only been a couple tournaments, so take that with a grain of salt. Let's open out some deck lists for Law. So 402 games played by 61 different people, 61.4% win rate. So this one seems to be doing pretty good. Let's open that up in the deck builder. Okay, so it looks like Killer is the play. I'm not running it in my deck, but I probably should. It gives you an extra Dawn to use, can become an attacker later too. And then I guess the reason they're running it is because Makino. Makino can buff Killer, Basil Hawkins, and the Luffy for 3k for 1 Dawn. What else is interesting here? So Sanji to give unblockable. This only works on like Luffy and Zoro, but that's enough, right? And it's a 2k counter anyway. It's just that something you cannot cheat out with like your kid or anything. Uruj in the deck for card draw because it's sorely needed. It's not running the 2k counter Bonnie in favor of the Makino, so I think that's what's different here. What else? So the only rush options is Zoro and Law. No running the 5 cost Luffy. So in the 5 Dawn slot, it's 4 of the X Drake here for consistency. Then 4 of the 7 cost Rush Zoro, and then 3 of the 9 cost. Then running 3 of the Searcher events. Yeah, I think this is something I've noticed too after playing it. I want the Searcher event. It sucks to have to run it in this deck because in aggressive decks you kind of don't want to run search events, especially like if they don't provide any benefit to you. Because in like the control decks where you want to play them to put cards in your discard, they're great. But in this deck, you just kind of need to hit your like kid into another character combo to just not lose tempo. So just having the search event that you can play a turn prior, or even like 2 of them potentially, really helps with that until they release a second searcher besides this Luffy for the deck, if they will do that. And then I am pretty sure the only available cards is Makino and Sanji, right? Yep. So if you guys want a full playset of these, it's $1. Okay, so that's Law's development since the first time we looked at him. Up next is Purple Yellow Robin. So I'm pretty sure like every single yellow deck is just running the Gecko Moria package now. Running it better than Gecko Moria, so we'll see if that is the case here. So 54.26% win rate going first, 44 going second, 10,000 games played. Overall 50.47% win rate. So get into Boa actually. You meet trigger for trigger, weak into Doflamingo, get into Mihawk, weak into Croc, get into Jinbei, weak into Ace by a large margin. Yeah, I think the yellow Moria package is just weak into Ace in general, and Nami, right? Yeah, because you're just playing a bunch of 5Ks out. Get into Imu, because you can swarm them. Interesting matchup spread. But let's open up the deck list view. Okay, 1,715 games played, 251 pilots by 56.5% win rate. Why did I say of? Has this 56.5% win rate. Matchup spread below against these decks here. Let's open that up in the deck builder. All right, so they're running Heavy Magellan. This is an anti-Imu card, but if Imu is out of the meta, I don't know if you need to run Magellan. Maybe it's just good in general. You can get to 10 really easily because your leader ability ramps you a card every turn. So in the late game, yeah, you can just drop 2 Magellans to make your opponent just like reverse a turn in Dawn ramp. And then what else? Yeah, we see here the Thriller Bark package, like the Kumasi 2k counter, the Absalom, the Hogback, the Sindri blocker, and then the Piranha, the Star. Right? I think you want to get this card in your discard ASAP, and then everything else triggers out to play out Piranha over and over again. Because you can stun a 6 cost this way on play and on KO. And then all of these cards are triggered too, so you can use it to pay for Robin's leader ability. So it's really synergistic, right? It works really well in a Bonnie deck and in a Robin deck, much more than in a Moria deck, unfortunately. And then the same good yellow goodness, right? The Kuma to heal. Also, you can run Robin because you're a Straw Hat leader. That also heals you. And then, like, yeah, all these characters, like Magellan, Kuma, and Robin, they're characters that your opponent don't want to kill because if they do, you get a benefit. I think that also applies to the Thriller Barks, right? Yeah, Piranha stuns on kill, Hogback lets you play out the Piranha on kill, Absalom lets you search on kill. On KO? Why am I saying on kill? On kill to kill. And Lilith as a searcher to tie the deck together. Even has a boss monster in Gecko Moria to play out the Piranha again. And the nice thing is that these characters can also swarm and attack ping 5k every turn. On top of your leader threatening banish too, so they have to counter your leader hit and then they have to like face all these 5k pings from these weenies here. Oh, since you're a Straw Hat leader too, you also have access to Gungam Giant, so it makes it really strong actually. I wonder what's better between this and Bonnie. Bonnie's a lot more aggressive, but this one you have a lot more mid-range options, I would say. And yeah, if you guys wanted to buy this deck, some of the cards will be available, like these ones here. Kuma being the most expensive part of the deck, 133 for a full play set. But in case you guys wanted to play Robin, you can prepare for it early. Right, you don't need any EB03 cards, so you can play it right away once OP14 drops for us in January, I think. Up next is Blue Purple Sanji, 45.4 going first, 42 going second, overall 44. But pretty high play rate, right? 2.24% here. What do you get into? None of the OP14 leaders except Mihawk. You get into Ace, that's a good matchup to have, right? Still a top dog, so you want to kill top dog, but you're weak into Blue Purple Luffy and Nami and Imu. You completely die to Imu. Oh, Moria is the only OP14 leader you beat, handedly at least. We also died a yellow Bonnie. Okay, let's open up in the deck builder. Ooh, we have 2 deck lists to pick from here. So this one's 72 games by 1 person or 1600 games by 250 people. Which one makes more sense to look at? Well, I would say this one's more tried and tested, right? 1600 games, but it has a sub 50% win rate. But this one's only 1 person. Let's see the matchup spread. Let's take a look at the the more played deck list. So it looks like a very toolboxy deck. You're running a bunch of events, right? You're running one of the blue 0 cost 3k and then the purple 0 cost 3k. I wonder why. Why don't you just run 2 of the purple one? Because it ramps you at least. And yeah, the new star of the deck is this Reiju from EV03. So yeah, we're not getting this until later. It's not running the other Reiju anymore, but this one, it's great. Essentially it's a character that is also an event too, because if you on your turn on play, if you down -1, if your leader is Sanji, you can play an event with the cost of 7 or less from your trash. So yeah, you can turn this Reiju into a 5k body that can bottom deck any character. It can beef burst for you. What else? Jet Culverin is an option too. You can even Gravity Blade, right? So it's a lot of like crazy combo potential. It's essentially like a second copy of any of these events too, and also is a character herself that can attack. And running Jozu. So usually people only run Sanji and Reiju in this deck, but they're running Jozu for some control. I wonder. Okay, I'm curious about the other deck list now too. Let's open that one up too. This one is also only Reiju and Sanji, no Jozu. Running more events. This one's more event focused, it looks like. In terms of 2k counters, oh, it's also running Pudding for Search. But yeah, in terms of 2k, it's Kaya and Otama, and then all your counter events. The events aren't new. These are all existing events, right? Yeah. So the only thing new is this Reiju. So if we look at the price, we can see what the rest of the deck will cost. Yeah, $27 for this deck, plus this SR Reiju from EV03. When is TCG player going to get to learn together? Proxy card images. They're always going to be missing. Do they look different? I know they have like a symbol, right? Or is that only in the Zoro Learn Together deck? Okay, that's Sanji. Then we have Blackbeard. 4,908 games, 0.77% play rate. 36 going first, 41 going second. You're kind of weak into everything except Crocodile. You deny his stunning, right? His 8 cost Crocodile can't use his effect if you deny it with your leader ability. You beat Blue Purple Luffy going first by a heavy margin. You beat Imu going second, but other than that, you're kind of struggling here because a lot of the decks don't overly depend on plays anymore. So let's open that up in the deck builder. So 130 games by 13 people, 57.7% win rate. Natural spread below. Open it up. I don't think there's anything new, but the interesting development that we've been seeing with Blackbeard is that he no longer is a KO deck. It's still some KO. Oh no, this one's not even running .Q. No KO at all. So you're more concerned about buffing up your Jesus Burgess and controlling the mid game. Right? It seems it's all about like Kuzans to play out your Jesus Burgess and then locking stuff down with Teach in the late game. Yeah, complete 180 on this playstyle. I think for a second he completely turned into a KO deck with the 7 cost Teach, even cutting out some Burgesses, but now it's back to Burgess City. And yeah, no new cards, so you can buy this entire deck outright. It's $18, a very cheap deck because it hasn't been like super meta relevant in a while. Yeah, just wanted to see what Blackbeard's up to, and it looks like yeah, still doing his thing. I saw a Blackbeard in one of my local store treasure cups. He did pretty well actually, right? Especially into Imu. So yeah, just wanted to call that out. Okay, we have black purple Luffy. I don't know what. Whenever I say black purple, it should be purple black, but I almost want to say like black pink. But 42.13% going first, 37.7 going second, 40% overall. Kind of weak into everything except Moria, unfortunately. Yeah, just red all around. So let's open that up in the deck view. Ooh, this one's interesting. Let's take a look at this one. 76 games, 2 pilots, 52.6% win rate, natural spread below. And the only reason my eye caught onto it is the late game is kind of insane. You're running the 8 cost Stun Croc and then the 8 cost Promo Roger, right? I think usually you don't see this. It's also still running the double attack Luffy. Dang, you have like no counter in this deck. How many cards is that? 24 non-counter cards. That's kind of really high, really Feast or Famine kind of deck, it looks like. But yeah, no, maybe it's not. It's kind of stall heavy, right? Because like the Rum Luffy makes you a 7k base, so it's harder to attack into you. On top of that, you can stun something big that can attack into you from attacking into you. On top of that, the Roger, I think it stacks, right? So if you'd want to use this one first. So this makes your leader a 7k base. You -2 Dawn, you get him back, and then you play Roger, it makes yourself a 9k base. That's the order you have to do it in. But hey, 9k base Luffy. How is that not the way it's played now? I feel like that's pretty good. And then also Stussy to handle some late game shenanigans, and then Big Mom to heal. Yeah, Gungam Giant because you're a Luffy leader. Yeah, why is Rum Luffy into Roger not already a thing in OP13 in Japan? Maybe it's not good enough? Who knows? But Yeah, you have Crocodile too to add on to that. In OP14, price set the deck. Most of the cards are released except for these two here. Yeah, 75? Okay, not bad. They're also cutting out like the Mr. 2s and stuff. They don't need a ramp. Too crazy hard early. Oh, they're running 4 of the Zoro. I think people will cut this out or cut it down to 2, but it looks like they're running it still. Yeah, the other one is the more traditional version of the Purple Black Luffy that I've seen. The 1 pilot, 29 games. Oh yeah, the Robin is what the other deck isn't running, and the Sanji too. This one has just as much bricks, 23 bricks, but they're running like anti-Zoro stuff with the Hell's Judgment of Hell. Okay, yeah, since this is like a niche deck, there's many ways to build it, right? People haven't really figured it out because the man hours to figure out the optimal deck for it haven't been put into the deck yet. And lastly, we have Black Yellow Koala. So 39.17 going first, 52 going second, only 0.46% play rate, but 47.69 overall win rate. You actually get into Doflamingo. Yeah, that makes sense because he plays the 8 cost Doflamingo that plays out another character, and then this Koala makes him take a life if they do that. I would say likewise with Jinbei, right? But it looks like Jinbei just might be too aggro for you because he beats you going first by a large margin. Weaken to Boa and then weaken to Mihawk. Yeah, Boa isn't running the Marigold combo, so that doesn't affect Boa anymore. You die to Ace, you beat Blue Purple going first. That has always been the case, right? Because his 9 cost Sanjis are dangerous for him to play out. But you die to Nami, you die to everything. But let's open up in the deck list view. So 59 games by one person, 71.2% win rate. And yeah, as we get down to the more niche decks, you're not going to see like too many people playing the same list. So only 1 pilot here. Matchup spread below. Open it up. Wicked Witch. Okay, so I don't know why the cadence of how I said that made me think of Michelle Yeoh. Anything new in this deck? Oh yeah, the new Koala that Sabo runs is also run in this Koala. What would it cheat out though? 6 or less Rev Army. Is that Kuma? Ooh, so if they kill Koala, you can cheat out a Kuma for free? Or this Robin for free, which makes your opponent trash cards from their hand. Or this Robin too? No, she's not Rev Army. Not at this time. Oh no, this one's not Rev Army either. Oh, you can play out Nico Robin in particular. Okay, so you can play out both Robins. So this one trashes life, this one trashes cards from hand, this one heals you. So they just never kill Koala and she's a 5k ping for you every turn. In late game, ooh, the 8 cost Sabo that pops things is run in this deck. And then 4 of the dragons. And then Karasu too. I don't like Karasu in any of the Rev Army decks. The black one at least. The red one's great, but this one, I guess you have to run it when you're going first, just to have something to play. Because everything else is even curved. There's Vankob's odd curve too. This trashes card. Do you want to trash that much? For Sabo, I understand, but well, I guess you rely on the dragon a lot more in this deck, I guess. Because that's your only late game card. Okay. It's not even running the hair removal fist. I guess you don't need it. That's Koala. Oh, the price of the deck. Everything is available now, right? Oh no, the new Koala, of course. Whoa, what is this Kuma? What version is promo tournament? Dang, it's cut off. We'll open that up in TCG Player. Tournament Pack 2025 Volume 4. That's cheaper than the one from OP09. OP09 one's 20 cents more. Okay. For a full play set, that is. This one looks kind of cool too. It's blue. But yeah, this deck is turbo expensive because of the Kuma. 185 to get you started. Okay, so that's Koala. And that's it, right? Yeah. So we took a look at some interesting deck lists in OP14 that have been brewing, or some of the OP14 leaders, and then some of the old favorites. Let me know what you guys thought. Are you guys interested to try out any of these decks? Let me know if you guys want to see, for next week, do you want to see OP13 again, or stick with OP14, or should I just flip-flop randomly whenever I want? Let me know. And then, again, check out my website, Kaizoku.com, to see these for yourself in case I didn't go over the leader that you wanted to look at. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Kaizoku.